This meeting is being recorded.
All right. Thank you so much for listening to our audit. We decided to do our audit on academic advisors and look into their careers. And the people on the team to create this audit was Cesar, Miranda, myself, Deja, and Christian. So the purpose of this audit is to determine commonalities that contribute and detract from the wellness of academic advisors and how those can impact the employee's well-being. In addition, we'll present interventions that will help to reduce those factors that detract from their wellness. So the context of the academic advisor, so they usually work out of department offices, but sometimes they can work from home. They'll usually have designated office hours to meet with students and provide guidance for them for their degree or career interests. As well as some of the working conditions that they have like some physical conditions and just being able to like walk around, get files, stuff like that. Interpersonal relationships, since they do a lot with students, work performance, and then they have some travel and hours, just depending on where they're located. Some of the tasks that they'll be completing is counseling students regarding their school adjustments, class schedules, program selection, and degree requirements, helping students to understand and overcome their personal, social, and behavioral problems that might be affecting their education, as well as reviewing transcripts to make sure that students meet their graduation or admission requirements. Some of the work activities include creating and monitoring treatment plans in progress, writing reports and evaluations, and determining eligibility for specific resources, as well as assisting students with educational goals. So on average, academic advisors earn just about $60,000 a year. And then in Oregon, the low 10% make about 37, with the high 10% making about 98. And then the projected employment in 2030 in Oregon for academic advisors is supposed to be 2,780. In the whole United States, they have a projected growth of about 8 to 10%, and the income information for Oregon is the same nationally.
Okay, for the message part, there were 2 interviews that were conducted and recorded via Zoom. Both interviews worked at Western Oregon University. One was 25 years old, male, and had 4 years of work experience. The other one was 32-year-old male and had 2.5 years of work experience. The average length for all interviews was about 45 minutes. These were structured interviews where all interviewees were asked the same question. We had a total of 20 questions, and some of the questions that we asked were for protection from harm, what policies and procedures are in place that protect workers' well-being and health, when mental health and prevention services are available. For work-life harmony, how would you describe your work-life balance? How do you think this is common in your profession? What would your ideal work-life balance look like? For mattering at work, we asked, is there a work culture of gratitude and recognition? Does your employer acknowledge and appreciate you for your work? For connection and community, what kind of social support do you get at work? How does your employer encourage collaboration and teamwork? For opportunity work for growth, we asked, how can your employer improve on training and development? Does your employer offer equitable pathways for career development and advancement? And how we analyze is that team members who conducted the interview identified key points that the interview stated about the 5 components essential to wellness. This was uploaded to a Google document and shared with all team members. All team members analyzed the interview's responses and identified commonalities of what detracted from and contributed to wellness. Okay, so we identified 2 commonalities and 1 unique factor that contributed to wellness. The first one is from work-life harmony, flexibility. Both interviews stated that they are allowed to work from home a couple of days out of the week. They said this was more convenient because you have to get ready or drive to work in the morning. One interviewee stated that this reduces some stress due to not having to rush to work after dropping off his child at daycare. The other one is from Mattering at Work, culture of gratitude. Both interviewees stated that they are appreciated and recognized for the work they do. One said that there are sometimes potlucks and are given a longer lunch to celebrate their accomplishments. Employees are allowed to nominate other employees too. And the president will often sends emails to recognize employees too. And one unique factor, one interview said was about community connection. In his workplace, supervisors encourage staff to work together, especially on big projects, because he believes each employee has different skills and abilities that can be useful in completing the work. And there are also team weekly meetings to discuss any issues or projects that need to be addressed.
We also identified 2 commonalities and a unique factor for detracting from wellness, starting with protection from harm. Discussing mental health, one of the interviewees said only 1 mental health session per year was offered, and it created a work overload and affected their anxiety, which detracted from their job performance. For work-life harmony, we talked about work-life balance, where the job was intertwined with their personal life, and it's more of a lifestyle than it is a job, which affected their personal lives at home. For opportunity for growth, there were training opportunities that they didn't take advantage of, and said that even though WU provides them and they might be beneficial, they don't take advantage of them.
Based on the results that we got in slides 1 and 2, this is how they contribute and detract from the well-being of the advisors. To start out with protection from harm, they mentioned work overload creates anxiety, which is a unique factor. It is a detracting factor for their job performance and can lead to absences or turnover due to that anxiety. For work-life harmony, they stated that work life and personal life are intertwined. It's more like a lifestyle than it is a job. This is a detracting factor for job satisfaction since it intervenes with their personal life. Opportunity for growth, they said they do have training is available, but they do not attend. This would detract from job performances since they do not have the skills to do their job properly. As far as mattering at work, they said they are recognized for their work, which this would lead to motivation, job satisfaction by making them feel good about their contributions to the company. For connection, they stated that teamwork is encouraged and valued. This would lead to job satisfaction since they are able to learn from one another.
For our interventions, we discussed that we could redesign and encourage for the mental health. We could redesign by creating 2 free sessions per term for academic advisors for their mental health. And then for encouragement, we can encourage students to volunteer to help aid them with their workload so they're not feeling overwhelmed by how much work they have to do. For work-life harmony, we can encourage academic advisors and educate them about the importance of a work-life balance. And if they need to take personal days, they can do so.
To summarize everything, we conducted an audit on academic advisors to determine commonalities and contribute and or detract to the wellness. We conducted 2 separate interviews with advisors from Western Oregon University. We identified 3 commonalities and 1 of them being unique. We also identified 3 detracting factors and 1 of them being unique. We also discussed how these factors contribute to the advisor's well-being in a positive and negative way. We came up with 3 interventions that would reduce the factors that detract from the wellness. Thank you.